was just going to start off by saying the loss of Mel Antonin. I know a lot of you were close with him, colleagues, and so I just wanted to pay my respects and say I'm sorry for his loss, and I know that he meant a lot to a lot of people on here. So haven't had a chance to talk to you guys since then, and but my heart and wishes go out to you guys that knew him and his family.
Thanks, Brandon. We'll open it up to questions now. So if you have a question, put your name in the chat and we'll go through them as time allows. Rock, if you want to lead us off, you can go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, was there anybody you were expecting in camp today that hasn't been able to report yet?
No, I think you're alluding to Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey is still going through the physical process, and so he's not here. But everybody else is here.
John Muley, you're up.
How's it going, Brandon? This is a unique set down there. I'm sure you're having shades of reporting to Camden Yards in July for summer camp. What do you expect to be similar, and what do you expect to be different about the spring training in terms of preparation? What you might be able to do, not do?
Well, I think summer camp and last season prepared us for this spring training as much as possible. It's going to be a lot different. It's already different. We are following all the protocols like we did in summer camp and during the season, and a lot of those have continued. And so, yeah, not being able to meet with the team in the clubhouse, being spaced out in the clubhouse, being spaced out in the coach's room. There's just a lot of changes than we're used to in spring training. But we did have that summer camp to kind of prepare for this, as well as the season last year. So, yeah, I think we're rolling with it like we did last summer, knowing that we're trying to keep everybody safe and healthy, and that's the number one priority.
Rich Dubroff, you're up.
Hey, Brandon. With fewer Grapefruit League games than you were originally expecting, and a lot of candidates to pitch, both starting and in the bullpen, are you confident that you're going to be able to get the innings that you need to make adequate judgments here?
Yeah, I think that we can. We lost some split squads and we had a day off there and started a day later, but I think we can be creative in how we are able to see everybody, and that's through some backfield inter squads. We can do some B games with other teams. I've already talked to some other managers about the possibility of that. So I think that there is a lot of ways we can still get guys innings and still get a good look at everybody in camp.
Dan Connolly, you're up.
Hey, Brandon, we talked to John a little bit about, ramping up and going from 50 or 60 innings to, 160 or whatever. How much of a challenge is that going to be for you? And what's kind of the plan that you guys have put together so far?
Yeah, it is a challenge. I think we are in a unique situation with the season being so short last year. Guys are coming into this year with coming off an unusual year where they were ramped up for spring, shut down, ramped back up for summer camp and the season. We lost a lot of innings from a lot of guys, but I do feel how our guys prepared last year and how they continued to throw and I feel like we are prepared for this year, but it's definitely a concern, and it's definitely something we're going to monitor closely is our pitchers' innings, how they're feeling on a daily basis. We have a shortened roster this year also with a 26-man roster. That's definitely a factor. But yeah, I think that it's a reasonable concern to have of guys coming off a year that was unusual and see how they're going to react this year, especially later in the year.
Stan Charles, you're up next.
Hey, Brandon. Rich asked part of my question, and then Dan asked a large part of my question, but I've still got a different angle on it. In 19, you must have had maybe 14, 15 guys start games. can you say now specifically how many guys you think will start games this year? And I'm not talking about openers. I'm talking about how you're going to go from 518 innings to 1,450 innings. It seems like the over-under would be at least a dozen starters this year. And not just Orioles, seems like all teams are like that.
Well, I think you see that. I think you see teams really trying to expand their camps and trying to get as much depth as possible, especially on the mound, and guys on the mound that can go multiple innings or potential start. Just because I don't think anybody has a clue of what that's going to look like. I don't want to put a significant or a specific number on how many starters I think we need, but yeah, I think the depth is going to be most important this year, and I think that you're going to need guys that are able to eat up innings. So that factors into your bullpen decisions also, and guys being able to go multiple innings is going to be huge. Like I said, the 26-man roster, so 2 less from last year, is going to be tough, and it's going to take a lot of pitchers that are able to give you as many innings as possible.
Mark Viviano, you're up next.
Hey, Brandon. Good to see you. Just kind of a general question as you move into another year here. You took on a big job, and based on your desire to be competitive every night and overall, just where you feel this has come from and where it's going and where you are right now.
Well, I think we've taken strides. I think as an organization, we've gotten a lot of more talent in the system. I was watching us throw today. We've got some really good arms in camp. I think that we've gotten better, and I think we proved that last year. We saw some young players get to the big leagues, both on the mound and in the field, and that's going to continue. Continuing to raise the talent level, but I'm really happy with how far we've come in 2 years. There's been a lot. I thought we were really competitive last year, and nobody gave us a chance last year, and I thought we were competitive, especially the first 40 to 50 games of that season. I thought we really played well, and I just want to build on that and continue that into this year.
Joe Trezza, you're up.
Hey, Brandon, going back to the pitching for a second, you're already hearing teams talk about using 6-man rotations. Do you think that's a possibility for you guys?
I think so, yeah. I think anything's possible this year when it comes to pitching.
Steve Molesky, you're up.
Brandon, along the lines of pitching, the veteran guys the team has signed, Felix and Harvey and Wade, what will they have to show you to make it, and what can they add, mentorship wise while they're there for however long they're there?
Yeah, it's 3 guys that have pitched a lot of innings in the big leagues, and it's fun to have them in camp. Talked a little bit with Felix and Wade today. Great to see Wade back, just because they offer. We don't have a ton of veterans on this team, and so to have 2 guys or more that are able to that have pitched in big games and done this for a long time, I think it's really, really important. I think it's a lot of times it's huge for our younger players to be able to lean on somebody that's done it. And the little I know Felix, he's a really great guy to be around, and I know we all know Wade from last year and how quality person and veteran presence he is. So excited to have those guys in camp, and I'm a believer in veterans can help young players, and I think that's I think that they have every opportunity to make this club, and we'll see where it goes.
Dan Connolly, you're up.
Yeah, Brandon, the Orioles are no strangers being kind of dismissed as far as being a playoff contender is concerned. But recently a report came out with projections that had you guys at 0.0% of making the playoffs before you even threw had played catch at Ed Smith. Do you guys dismiss that, use it as motivation? How do you react to something like that?
The least of my concerns. I'm not worried about an article. I'm worried about the guys in our room. We're about getting better on a daily basis. And we're controlling what we can control.
John Miola, you're up.
Brandon, last year, towards the middle of the season, John Means told us about the meeting you had with you trying to get him back to himself a little bit. It seems like he might have gotten away from that during the offseason. Now that he's a year older, this offseason, are you comfortable that he will have put himself in a good place to be that John Means that you guys know and need?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think John's had a great offseason. He's coming to camp ready. Saw him throw today. Looks fantastic. But yeah, I think that he's going to be the John Means that you saw the last, his last handful of starts and who he was in 19. I think that he was just over-amped last year coming in and was just trying a little too hard and doing some things that he hadn't done before. And I think he recognized that and got back to the pitcher that he knows he is. And I think you'll see that this year.
All right. One last question. Kevin Richardson, go ahead.
Yes, Brandon, have you, as an organization or Major League Baseball, talked about a timeline when you guys will be vaccinated as players and managers and coaches?
Yeah, I haven't heard any news about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Time for one final question. Sean Stepner, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Brandon, good to see you. I guess we all wish we were in Florida nowadays. Just kind of on a bigger picture question here. Just the atmosphere and the vibe every year, but this year specifically of getting back at it. Pitchers and catchers reporting, and being on the cusp of everything here.
Yeah, those of you who are in tough weather, it was a little misty here this morning. So, I think you can put ourselves in our shoes where it was kind of in the 70s and a little bit misty. So really uncomfortable. Sorry, Steve and Rich, Dan, I know you guys are grinding it out in the cold, but not feeling sorry for ourselves here for sure. But it's fun to get started again. It's spring training. It's day one, pitchers, catchers. We had a great day and looking forward to the rest of camp.